I put a link in the chat, Bills. This right here is the future.
Should we switch over to Twitch before this story?
Let's do it halfway.
Okay.
But guys, this is your future in America, anywhere in the world. It's all about control, domination, and your rights being taken away. Play real quick if you don't mind, Bills.
All right.
This is very scary, by the way. It's coming to America very soon, too. If you don't believe it, that's on you.
Kuwait just did something unprecedented in the Middle East. And folks, make no mistake, this one has global implications. All right, folks, this one falls into the category of you can't make this stuff up. And make no mistake, you don't see things like this happening in the Middle East, especially decisions that are being made by nations. Folks, this is unbelievable, and it has implications that relate not only to the rest of the world, but it certainly speaks to things that we know we should be expecting in the end times. And folks, this one's wild. Look, if I was reading this and it was in Europe, or if I was reading this and it was in the United States of America or somewhere in the West, it would make perfect sense because that seems to be the natural progression where things are going. But for this one to come out of the Middle East, especially as it relates to technology, this is mind-boggling. And this one is going to set a precedent and a fire like nobody has ever seen. Here's the article. It says this: Kuwait to freeze bank accounts of residents who do not register biometric fingerprints.
Shit. Pause.
Folks, make no mistake about it.
So now they're putting rules on what you must do. If not, there's a direct punishment if you don't follow the rules and comply.
Freeze your money if you don't give your fingerprints. That's crazy.
Guys, we're okay for now, but guarantee we're going to demand them to do it for us.
New World Order coming soon.
I'm telling you, bro, this is scary, bro. It's happening It's happening not so far away. Look at Europe, bro.
Yeah, and Kuwait, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kuwait has the strongest currency in the world. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong there.
One of.
I think the Kuwaiti dollar is the strongest currency in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
A majority expat for a reason.
Is it really?
Yeah. I mean, he'll talk about it too as well.
Okay.
But here we go.
Kuwaiti dollar.
The Kuwaiti dollar is right?
Number one.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't miss, man. I'm good.
The Kuwaiti dinar.
The Kuwaiti dinar, yeah.
Number one.
I ain't good, guy. I'm good, guys. I got y'all.
Give them your fingerprint, and you are going to experience significant consequences.
Is it Arabic?
Yeah, Kuwait is an Arab country.
Yes, sir.
It's affluent. It's an affluent and wealthy Arab country.
Yeah.
Small but affluent and lots of money.
Wallahi.
Let's keep going.
Folks, make no mistake about it. You don't give them your fingerprint, and you are going to experience significant consequences. This is not just wear your hijab. This is not just a simple follow Sharia law. It gets a whole lot deeper here, and the implications of this are remarkable. Let me read this to you. It says Kuwait is mandating a biometric registration process for citizens and expatriates. Those who fail to register their fingerprints by the set deadlines will face consequences such as suspended government services and frozen bank accounts. It is claimed that the reasons for enforcing the registration of digital biometrics are to enhance security and address dual nationality issues. However, this initiative aligns with global trends in biometrics and the sharing of our data with selected agencies. Folks, make no mistake about this. Understand this. Know this. This has everything to do with the future world of the final Antichrist. That's what this stuff is about. This is actually unbelievable that it's happening in the Middle East, but we shouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you, it is kind of surprising to me because I didn't think it'd be happening this fast. But folks, it's kind of a big deal. Listen to what the next paragraph says. It says, it's no coincidence that at the same time.
Who do you think is involved with this? Who's the one leading this initiative? Who do you think? United Nations. And who else? We'll continue.
Every single time.
Play.
The United Nations is pushing for a global digital compact to be adopted by 193 countries so it can play a significant role in the global governance of artificial intelligence, the internet, digital public goods, and digital infrastructure. Folks, I have talked about this again and again and again about the largest terrorist organization in the world, the United Nations, and they continue to stand in a very unique position where they want to control the whole world. This is something that they've always wanted to do, and they know that one of the greatest and most,
George Soros,
let's just say, extensive avenues into this is going to be through the digital world, specifically digital biometrics, AI, and all of these other things that we've been talking about. Look what it goes on to say. It says Kuwait is preparing to suspend government services for people who fail to register their fingerprints by the set deadlines. 30th of September 2024 for Kuwaitis and the 30th of December 2024 for expatriates. There are approximately 175,000 citizens and 800,000 expats who still need to complete the biometric registration process. The Central Bank of Kuwait has directed banks to implement measures like suspension of electronic channels, blocking of bank cards, and eventually freezing accounts for those who do not comply with the registration requirements. This will also affect financial assets like shares, funds, and investment portfolios. And folks, when you look at everything that's happening here, it all falls right in line with the final Antichrist's world. It falls right in line with everything that we read about in Revelation 13, and it literally lays down the foundation necessary for this type of enforcement action that we read about that's going to take place with the final Antichrist and, of course, the false prophet. It all is coming together, and it should be no surprise that we're seeing this happening in the Middle East, but I'm a little shocked at how fast it's actually taking place and the rates of fury by which they are seeking to enforce this stuff. It's unbelievable, and make no mistake about it, they are undoubtedly receiving support from other places that want to see this fall into line. So this is some pretty heavy stuff. Look what it goes on to say. It's pretty important. If people do not meet the fingerprinting deadline, their electronic banking channels will be disabled, bank cards will be blocked, and their accounts will be frozen. However, deductions for loans and mortgages will continue. While travel rights will not be affected, illegal residents crossing the border will be required to submit fingerprint registrations. Folks, I just want everybody to understand this, okay? Because this is like really, really important to pay attention to. What I'm reading to you right now is something that, although it might not seem as extreme to some people because they're still able to pay their debt, they're still able to take care of certain obligations, this is uniquely extreme, because what it's doing is it's opening up the door to create an absolute law that makes a very definitive consequence for not wanting to comply or not wanting to give a portion of your identity that cannot be traced with anybody else. Digital biometrics is the beginning of all of this. This is where it all starts, and them wanting to do this and then, of course, threatening to seize your assets or freeze your assets makes a substantial difference in the way that the game is played. Okay, it's really important to see this. By the way, there's a lot of articles on this. There's so much being published about this very story. In March of 2024, this is what the article goes on to say, it was revealed that the country also intends to share biometric data as part of a regional security network. Here's a question that I have. Who's part of that regional network? Is Iran part of that regional network? Is a portion of Iraq part of that regional network? Are we talking about certain biometric constructs that are being created for the building of a city like Babylon? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about the enemies of Israel? There's so much right now that is in play. Is the United States of America aiding in this process? Is this something that is involving a much more sophisticated conglomerate of nations that are seeking to do something very different here? There's too many questions to be asked here, and what we're looking at is super, super significant. This is a big deal. Look what it goes on to say. It says, it is claimed that the aim of the initiative to register biometric fingerprints for both citizens and expatriates is to address dual nationality issues and enhance security measures by detecting individuals using fraudulent passports. Doesn't it always start that way? Does it always start with, we want to give you more security, or we want to keep fraudulent activity from happening, or we want to keep you from getting ripped off? It's all about, let me give you comfort for a piece of your freedom. Let me give you a little bit of rest so long as you give me control. That's exactly what's happening here. And folks, You haven't seen the beginning of it yet. I'm telling you, it's about to get way worse than you think. Look what this article continues to say. Kuwait plans to collaborate with Interpol and Gulf Cooperation Council countries to establish a robust security network. This partnership aims to address the challenges posted by dual nationals using multiple identities while traveling between countries. Folks,
Insane.
think about this.
Yeah.
This is crazy, okay? Like, if you're a citizen of Kuwait, but you want to leave the country and live somewhere else, that makes you an expatriate. That means that you still are required to comply with their rules, or they'll come after you no matter where you are. What they're doing is building the infrastructure to go after those who will not submit to the Antichrist. That's where we're going here. They're getting people involved like Interpol, okay?
We can
Or
stop
the
here.
GCC. I mean, think about
this. Yo, so that was a bit long, but look at what he's saying here. This is the beginning of people, well, the government demanding you to follow protocol. And if you don't, guess what? No Section 8, no funding from the government, no resources from the government. And if you don't comply, your account's gone too. So that's scary, bro. I don't know about you guys. That's very scary. And let's say you want to leave the country. Guess what? Now, if you try to leave and you don't comply somewhere else,
Yep.
that's scary, guys.
Yeah,
Very scary.
the globalization is in full effect, guys.
Yeah. So,
All right, let me.
someone said this will never happen in the U.S. Bro, you know what's crazy? People are gonna demand it.
George Soros is pushing for it.
Because when they say, oh, you can't get funding from government, Section 8, all this stuff, you know what people are going to say?
Yeah.
No, give it to us. We want it. We want to get funding from government. I'll take whatever I need. A chip, a fingerprint scan. Bro, you might not like it, or you might not want it, but they're going to want it, the masses. So it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Quick word from our sponsor, though.
Yep.
Are we ready, guys? You guys ready? Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. So today's sponsor is Be Naked. After 30, your testosterone drops by 2% every year. Yeah, that's right. While you're out here scrolling TikTok, your masculinity is packing his bags. But you don't have to be that guy. Step up with Naked Organs. This ain't no soy boy supplement. This is straight up 100% bison organs, liver, kidney, heart. The stuff men have been using for centuries to stay sharp, strong, and keep their testosterone sky high. Forget your vegan pea protein, quinoa, or whatever weak sauce they're pushing. This is Primal Power, packed with B12, iron, and zinc. Real nutrients that your body needs to stay jacked and ready to dominate. Go to BeNaked.com, use code FRESH, and get 15% off. Keep your masculinity in check, guys. Code word FRESH. BeNaked.com, use code FRESH for 15% off.
Support them, support us.